This evening, we've got a fairly full body flow. As always, please feel free to dial the shapes up or down as you see fit. Make it your own and enjoy your practice. We'll start off this evening just in an upright stance, please, picking up the toes and spreading, plugging the tentacles of the toes down into the mat, turning the palms of the hands to face forward and just dropping down into the breath. We'll take a few rounds of our reset breath to get us in the zone. We'll exhale together, please. Take a big inhale through the nose. Second, top up nasal inhale and exhale through the mouth slowly. Again, big nasal inhale. Take another top up inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth slowly. Please take 2 or 3 more rounds of your reset breath on your own now. You might like to include a vocalization of the exhale with a hum or a sigh, just to lend your reset breath some extra potency. When you are ready, lifting the tongue up to rest against the roof of the mouth, just allowing your jaw to soften as you come to meet your breath. For now, giving your full, sincere attention to the breath, slowing it down, especially the exhalations, and encouraging the face and the shoulders to soften, feeling the belly and the rib cage moving freely. In these last few quiet, conscious breaths, really consecrating this hour to yourself, your own restoration and replenishment, giving yourself permission to surrender the details of the day. When you're ready, bringing the palms to meet one another in front of the heart and beginning to rub the palms of the hands together quite vigorously. This coordinated bilateral movement of the limbs helps to balance the activity between the left and right cerebral hemispheres. It's also a lovely vagal exercise. And when your palms feel lovely and warm, we'll just bring your warm palms onto your closed eyes and apply a really gentle push with the palms against the eyes, eliciting our ocular cardiac reflex as the vagus nerve signals the heart rate to slow down, the blood pressure to drop. Blinking your eyes open into that comforting semi-darkness behind the eyes. And as you bring your arms back to rest along your side body, just allowing your attention to gently diffuse back into the room. Beginning our session with a little check-in in the body, just very mindfully and slowly articulating the joints in the neck, taking the head through its full range of motion. Don't forget lateral flexion, dropping the ear down to the shoulder, giving the jaw a little bit of a wiggle and opening and closing the mouth. Now feeling into the shoulders, bringing your shoulders into flexion, slowly lifting the arms, noticing any difference between either shoulder, if there are any sticky bits, and then bringing the shoulders into extension. You might interlace the fingers to just bring some attention across the front of the chest. And now taking a little bit of a forward fold, keeping the knees soft as you bring some awareness into the hamstrings. You might like to just shift the weight from heel to heel as you feel into the lower back and the hips. Taking a deep bend in the knees, head and arms hang heavy, rounding and rolling up Slowly, take your time. And moving into our complement of maneuvers this evening, starting off with our silent scream, making a fist with your right hand, and just let that fist rise up to meet the chin as the chin anchors down to meet that movement of the fist, holding on to that and feeling an equal co-activation of the muscles in the neck as you open the mouth nice and wide, keeping the breath moving. And if you can coordinate it, drawing the navel back toward the spine, keeping the fist driving up, the chin anchoring down, the mouth open wide, and the breath moving. When you're ready, we'll let that right arm come down to rest alongside the body, noticing any sensations around the region of the neck, jaw, and head as we pick up an interlace of hands and fingers at the back of the head, elbows wide, shoulders relaxed. Please begin to push your head against the contact of your hands until you spark a bit of a conversation in the fascia, anywhere between the base of the skull, the neck, between the shoulder blades. If you've got any vulnerabilities in your neck, you might stay here. If you're wanting to take this somewhere a little bit different, please just maintain that push of the head against the hands and start to tip your chin up toward the ceiling. Elbows wide, shoulders relaxed, keeping the breath moving, head pushing against the hands, chin lifting. Good. If you're feeling good, you might want to think about picking the rib cage up, lifting it away from the lower back, and start to move into a very subtle, well-distributed back bend. Keep the head pushing against the hands, the elbows wide, the chin lifting, breath moving. Stay here. Take an inhale. On the exhale, drop your chin down to your chest and hug your elbows in towards one another, but keep your chest lifting. Don't let the heart drop down. And now the arms have become lovely passive weights for the head and the neck. Allow the arms to feel lovely and heavy. And again, if you've got vulnerabilities in your neck, maybe you stay here. Otherwise, press your head against the hands. Let the shoulder blades separate. Allow the arms to feel heavy. If you can keep the coordination and the breath moving, draw the navel in toward the spine. All right, starting to take a deep bend in the knees. You can come as far down into a squat as you like, but think about aiming the elbow points and the crown of the head down to the floor, allowing the spine to round. You might need to take the feet out a little bit wider if you're dropping down into a really full squat. And as you arrive in whatever version of the squat you like, again, just press the head against the hands. Keep the elbows tucking. Good. Releasing your fingertips toward the earth. Root down through the feet. Round up and roll up nice and slowly. Take your time. All right. One last little maneuver. This one's a new one in this particular class. This is bringing attention specifically to the fascia around the upper traps and the neck. What we're looking to do is to reach the hands behind us, slide them underneath your top so that you're grabbing hold of as much skin as you can near the shoulders and the base of the neck. And once you've got that nice firm grip of the skin, start to pull the skin forward and tuck the elbows forward. Now, please keep your chest lifting here. Don't let the chest drop down. The chin will drop down, but the heart stays lifting, pulling on the skin with the hands as you tuck and drop the elbows forward and down. Breath and attention into the shoulders, the back of the rib cage. When you're ready, gently releasing, bringing the arms down and stepping to the top of your mat. Palms of the hands face forward so that the collarbones are wide and the chest is bright. Just checking the position of your tongue. We're aiming to keep it resting against the roof of the mouth throughout the practice. Let's exhale slowly. Inhale, picking up the arms, palms meet above the head, gaze up. Stay here, hands and fingers interlace above the head, press the palms skyward, looking to the hands. On an inhale, send the hips forward and lean the heart back. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest, pressing the palms forward and letting those shoulder blades separate, rounding out the upper back. Release your arms down to your side body. Turn the palms to face the back of the mat and pick up an interlace of hands and fingers behind you. Draw the shoulder blades together, keeping the chest lifting and dropping the chin down low toward that hollow in the throat. Reaching the arms away from the back body and gently rolling your chin across the collarbones from one side to the other, the heart lifting brightly, shoulder blades squeezing together as you lift the arms. Releasing that interlace of hands and fingers, we'll inhale, picking up the arms again, palms meet above the head, gaze up. Left hand takes right wrist, and as you exhale, find a side bend to the left. Let the next inhale bring you back through center, changing wrist grips. Keep the ribcage lifted, and exhale, side bending over to the right. Inhale, back through center, palms meet, gaze up, and as you exhale, folding forward with soft knees to Uttanasana, standing forward fold. As you inhale, take fingers to shin bones and shine the collarbones forward, lifting to flat back. Refold on the exhale. We'll take two more just like that. Fingers to shins. Let the inhale do the work to lift the heart. Reaching to flat back, hamstrings engage, and refold on the exhalation. One more time, fingers to shins. Inhale slowly, reach the collarbones forward in space. Exhale, fold. Fingertips rest lightly on the earth and step the left foot to the back of the mat. Dropping that back left knee to the earth, staying up on the ball of that back left foot as you lift the chest and shoulders to stack above the hips. Picking up that interlace of hands and fingers behind you, draw the shoulder blades together and lift the arms. If your chest feels really tight or you're struggling to maintain that interlace of hands, pick up your yoga strap and hold that with some tension between the hands to make it more accessible. Keeping a heavy footprint in that front right foot, arms lifting, lean the chest back, but drop the chin down. Taking some awareness into the front of the left hip. Release the interlace of hands and fingers. Bring the fingertips to land on the floor at either side of that front right foot. Take an inhale. Exhale, straightening the right leg. Don't lock it out. We're just straightening it as we send the sit bones back toward that left heel and surrender the torso out over the long leg. Plantar flex or point your right foot. Keep the right ankle pointed and peel just the toes back toward the shin. Plugging that right heel down into the earth and scissoring through the hips as you attempt to drag the right leg in toward you and slide the left knee forward. Maybe let that left rib cage drop down a little bit lower to the earth. On an inhale, we're re-bending the right knee. Exhale, pick the left knee up off the earth, left palm print on the earth and spiraling the right hand up toward the ceiling, finding an easy twist. Gazing up toward that right thumb with a long neck. So thinking about just tucking the chin slightly toward the right collarbone. On an inhale, we'll sweep the right hand toward the back of the mat. Exhale, right hand finds the earth next to the right foot. And as you exhale, we'll step that right foot to the back of the mat, bringing the knees to find the earth straight away. Untuck the toes, tops of the feet plug down. As you inhale, arch the spine, lift the eyes to upward facing cat. Exhaling, tuck the chin, rounding the spine downward, facing cat. Another inhale, spread the sit bones, drop the belly. Collarbone shine forward, chin lifts, eyes up high. Exhale, chin tucks round the spine. Please stay with this Taking a few more rounds, using your own breath to guide your pace. The slower, the better. Really involving your eyes as you move. And this is going to keep the activity in the frontal lobe and give us maximum benefit to the brain and the nervous system, and even stretch out the muscles of the eyes if you've been peeking at a computer all day. When you're ready, we'll tuck the toes under, sink the sit bones back onto the heels, and rise up into our wrist and forearm release. Now, this evening, we're going to hug the thumbs in toward the palms and close the other four fingers. So we arrive in a closed fist. Come up onto the ends of your knuckles and drive the wrist bones forward. Let the heart sink. Tuck your chin. Bring your forehead and your nose down toward the earth. I'll keep my head up so you don't get a muffled voice. Thinking about driving the wrist bones forward, elbows straight, as you spread the sit bones and sink them back toward the heels. When you're ready, release the fists, flat hands, and push off the balls of your feet as you snake your way down onto your belly and onto the earth. As you arrive, we're coming up into Sphinx pose. So just stacking the elbows right beneath the wrists. Just use your own eyes to check that alignment through the forearms, spreading the fingers and plugging the fingerprints into the mat. Untuck the toes and let the outer foot just wrap down toward the mat so the heels fall away from one another. Create a feeling here as though you are hugging your elbows and hip bones towards one another, just tractioning through the front of the belly, lighting up the muscles in the mid-back. You can keep your eye gaze just down at the space between your thumbs. Think about lifting the back of the head so the neck is long. Smooth, steady breaths. When you're ready, gently release. Take your right arm out in line with the right shoulder, palm of the hand resting on the earth. And on an inhale, we're rolling onto the outside of the right hip. Pick up the left leg, bend the knee, and just bring the foot to land on the floor behind you, making a fist with your left hand and just allowing that fist to rest beneath your right temple like a pillow to support the neck. If your neck feels really healthy, you can let that left hand go, let the head rest toward the earth, and yawn the left arm back behind you, palm of the hand facing the sky. You might take the left knee a little bit wider and think about pressing the palm of the right hand, the contact points of the arm down into the mat. Coming back gently onto your belly when you're ready and taking that into the other side, left arm out in line with the left shoulder. Inhale, roll onto the outside of the left hip, pick up the right leg, bend the knee and bring the foot to land. And either making a fist with the right hand, bringing that to rest beneath the left temple, or letting the head come to rest against the earth and reaching the right arm back behind you. Keep the palm of your hand facing the sky. That right arm in external rotation so that there's maximum broadness in the right side of the chest. Maybe take the right knee a little bit wider, keeping that breath moving smoothly. And when you're ready, making your way back onto your belly. Sliding the hands back in line with the waist as you inhale, pressing yourself to all fours. Tuck the toes, and as you exhale, we're lifting the hips and peeling back to downward facing dog. If you'd like something a little bit more restorative, then of course, please use your child's pose. You might like to pedal out the heels here, but do it slowly and sincerely. And coming to find a little bit of stillness in your down dog, plugging the fingerprints into the earth, plugging down through the palms, and actively pushing the earth away from you through the bones of the arms so you feel the side waists elongate. Little softness in the knee joint so that you can just tip that tailbone up toward the ceiling. On an inhale, we're rising high to tip toes. Exhaling, knees bend deep and look forward. On the empty breath, step right foot, then left foot back to the top of the mat. Take as many steps as you like. As you arrive, fingers to shins, and inhale, lift the heart halfway. We're refolding now on the exhalation. And as you inhale, rise back slowly to stand. Can you time it so the palms meet one another right at the top of the inhale, gazing up? Stay here. Hands and fingers interlace above the head. Exhale, press the palms skyward, looking up to the thumbs. Inhale, send the hips forward and the heart back. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest and press the palms forward. Keeping the heart lifting, letting the shoulder blades separate. Press the palms toward the front of the room. Releasing your arms down next to you. Turn the palms to face the back wall and pick up that interlace of hands and fingers. Draw the shoulder blades together. Keep the collarbones lifting high and let the chin drop down. Again, slowly, just rolling the chin across the collarbones. Heart lifted and bright. Arms reaching away from the back body. The chin slowly rolling across the collarbones. Releasing the arms. Inhale, pick the arms back up, palms meet above the head. Right hand takes the left wrist first this time, ribs lifted long in the lower back. And exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, come back through center, change the wrist grip, and exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, back through center, palms meet, gaze up, and on the exhale, float down to Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Fingers to shins. Inhale, ripple the heart forward in space. Refold on the exhalation. 2 more just like that. Again, let the inhale pick the collarbones up, neck long, even as you gaze forward, refolding on the exhale. 1 more time. Feel how the inhale initiates and supports the movement. And again, notice how the exhale is the perfect companion to the forward fold, fingertips to the earth and stepping the right foot all the way to the back of the mat. As the toes land, bring the back right knee down to the earth. Stay up on the ball of the foot. And now lift the chest and shoulders to stack above the hips. Picking up an interlace of fingers behind you or grabbing the strap. Drawing the shoulder blades together, lifting the arms back. Nice heavy footprint in that front left foot and dropping the chin down. Notice how that really brings much more impact into the front of the right hip, keeping the arms lifting, leaning the heart back, dropping the chin low. Release the interlace of hands and fingers. Fingertips come to land at either side of that front left foot. Take an inhale. On the exhale, send the sit bones back toward that right heel as you fold forward into our little baby Hanumanasana here. Once more, think about plantar flexing or pointing the left foot and keep the ankle pointed as you peel just the toes back toward your face. Plugging the left heel down into the earth. And now finding that pistoning action in the hips as you attempt to drag the left leg in towards you and slide the right knee forward. There won't be any measurable movement. The sticky mat will catch you. Thinking about dropping the right rib cage down a little bit lower. Inhale, rebend the left knee. Exhale, lift the right knee. Plant the right palm down where it is. And on an inhale, spiral the left arm up toward the ceiling, gazing with a long neck toward the left thumb. You can deepen the easy twist by leaning the chest back if that's where you want to go. And on an inhale, reach that left hand to the back of the mat. Exhale, left hand finds the earth. On an inhale, stepping the left foot to the back of the mat. Exhale, bring your knees to find the earth and untuck the toes. Tops of the feet stay plugged down. Inhale, arch the spine, gazing up, upward, facing cat. Exhale, chin tuck, spine rounds downward, facing cat. Inhale, arch the spine, looking up to the ceiling. Exhale, chin tucks, spine rounds. Again, inhale, arch the spine, looking up slowly. Really get the eyes involved. Exhale, chin tucks, spine rounds. One last inhale to upward facing cat. And with an exhale, just arrive back to neutral all fours. Moving into needle threading here, take your right arm reaching up toward the ceiling on an inhale. Pause at the top and really lean your chest back. And then exhale, thread that right arm underneath you. Try to come to land as much on the back of the right shoulder as you can. And then reach the left hand forward, spreading the fingers of both hands and really connecting the contact points of your body that are on the earth, connecting them down. So the tops of the feet, even aiming to send the shin bones down to the earth and pressing through the back of the right arm, through the palm of the left hand. Now that we've been here for a few cycles of breath, you might just slide that right arm underneath you a little bit more. And if you've got your balance, you could even float the left arm up and across, or bring that left arm into a bind, but only if you've got your balance. Can you twist through just a little bit more? Use that right arm to help anchor and support you. Gently releasing back to neutral all fours. On an inhale, take your left hand reaching up toward the sky. Stop at the top and lean the chest back. Exhale, thread that left arm under, coming to arrive as much on the back of the left shoulder as you can, and then reaching the right arm to the top of the mat. Fingers spread, keeping those contact points really engaging with the earth beneath you. Tops of the feet, shin bones pushed down, palm of the right hand and the back of the left arm. You might find a little bit more space now to slide that left shoulder underneath you. And if you've got your balance, you might take the right arm reaching up to the ceiling before letting it fall across to the right side of the room, or maybe even bring that right arm in to bind. Keep spiraling the collarbones toward the ceiling. Use the back of your left arm to help anchor you. Slowly releasing from this shape and making your way back to all fours. Good. We're working with a little back bend next. Please pick up your yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, just listen to the cues and imagine that you have one. We're coming up onto the toes and placing the block between your legs up as high toward the base of the spine as you can, and landing the hands on that lovely natural shelf, the back of the pelvis. From here, think about really squeezing the block between your inner thighs, and this is creating some lovely space in the lower back and engaging the hips appropriately. Draw the shoulder blades and elbows together and send the hip bones forward. Keep squeezing that block. Lift the ribs up and away from the lower back. And we're going to keep the chin anchored down toward the chest. So literally looking down. And just recycling those points of awareness as you hold this. Squeeze the block. Press the hips forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Lift the ribs up. Keep the chin down. Smooth, steady breaths. When you're ready, gently release. We'll pop the block just out of the way for now as you swing the legs out in front of you. Good. Arriving in our Dandasana staff pose for just a moment here. Think about lifting the base of the skull toward the ceiling so there's length in the spine. The feet and the toes are quite active, and you might like to plug your hands down just alongside the widest part of your hips and pelvis. If you'd like to make this a little bit stronger, you can think about hollowing out through the lower belly, taking a little bit of a lean forward and push into the hands. You might even float the sit bones away from the earth for a moment. Just a nice little drill for your L sits, if that's what you're working on. Letting all of that go. Pressing the back of the hands down onto the mat now, just rewarding those wrist joints for a little bit of hard work. Releasing the wrists and give them a bit of a flick. From your Dandasana, please bend your right knee and externally rotate the right hip. Just let that knee drop out to the side. If your right knee is floating up away from the earth, it is a really good idea just to pop a block underneath that right leg so that you're supporting the psoas on that side. Keeping the toes of the left foot pointing straight up to the ceiling, find a tall seat and plug the back of the left hand onto the inside of the left leg, using that contact to create some leverage as you start to spin the chest to face out over the bent knee. On an inhale, pick up the right arm, bring the bicep to brush the cheekbone, and as you exhale, think about turning the heart toward the right. Just land here for a few breaths. Even if you think you know where we're going, just be here for a moment. Angle the chin and the nose slightly down to the armpit. Find a deliberate reach through that lifted right arm. And now, if you'd like, on an exhale, you can slide that left hand down along the inseam of the leg toward the ankle. But try not to let your chest drop down. Keep the right rib cage really spiraling toward the ceiling. Smooth, steady breaths. And a little bit of a weird cue here, but it really is lovely, even if I do say so myself. In this shape, can you think about anchoring your right sit bone down? Let the right hip feel heavy and bring some lovely juicy attention into the lower back on the right side, spiraling the heart toward the ceiling. On an inhale, we'll pick ourselves up and out of that shape. Exhale, right hand lands on the floor just behind you and lift up onto the right shin. Little baby wild thing here as you yawn the left arm back and decompress into the left side body, bringing both sit bones to land back on the earth and just crossing your left shin in front of your right. If you have a half lotus that you like to work with, then that left leg might come to a half lotus. Otherwise, cross-legged is just fine. Bring the back of your right hand to hook the left knee and really peel the fingers back toward the earth. So your right wrist is in deliberate extension. Fingertips of the left hand are landing gently on the floor behind you. Now, this is a twist with a twist. We're spiraling the chest to the left and dropping the chin down to the right shoulder. This is a good opportunity just to check your tongue posture, to smooth out any rough edges along the breath. And now keeping this angle in the neck, inhale, turn your chin up to the ceiling. Exhale, turn the chin back down. Inhale, turn the chin up. Exhale, bring it back down, flossing into the left side of the neck here. Inhale, take the chin up and to the left. Exhale, bring it back down. And now as you inhale, just release the head and the eye gaze back to center. And exhale, we're turning to the left. So arriving in a more familiar version of the twist. Keep that extension in the right wrist if you can. On an inhale, pick up the rib cage, sit a little bit taller. And as you exhale, turn a little bit further. Inhale, release the head back through center. And exhale, release the right arm. Keeping the cross in the legs or half lotus if that's where you've arrived. We're taking a forward fold here. You can keep the arms straight and allow those arms to absorb some of the weight of your torso, especially if you're concerned about your knees or your lower back. You could, if you choose, come down onto the elbows and forearms, or even reach the arms out in front of you and surrender the forehead down toward the earth. Now, what will tend to happen here is you'll feel the sit bones lifting away from the mat. That's really normal. But can you just let the sit bones feel heavy and drop them down? Let the lower back really spread and radiate. Now that we've been here for a few breaths, maybe taking yourself a little bit deeper into the forward fold. And inhaling, we'll walk the hands back in towards us. Again, let your arms absorb the weight of your torso to protect the knee joints. Resetting now back to Dandasana, taking the legs out long. We'll bend the left knee and externally rotate that left hip. Again, if your left knee is floating up away from the mat, please pop something underneath the knee for some support. Toes of the right foot pointing straight up to the sky. And now plug the back of the right hand against the inseam of the leg, pressing the hand against the leg and even letting the leg push back so that we're engaged and we're starting to turn the chest out toward the bent knee. Inhale, pick up the left arm, let the bicep come to meet the cheekbone. And as you exhale, turning belly, ribs, and chest to the left, using the anchor point of that right hand against the inside of the right leg, turning just a little bit more, and maybe on an exhale, sliding the right hand down. Keep prioritizing turning the chest toward the sky. The tendency here will be for the top arm and on this side, the left rib cage to want to drop toward the floor. Keep turning the chest to the sky, reaching decisively through that lifted left arm. And now taking attention into your left sit bone, let it drop down. Let the whole left side of the pelvis feel heavy. Bring some attention into the lower back on the left-hand side. On the next inhale, coming up out of this shape slowly. Exhale, left hand lands on the floor. And inhale, lifting up onto the left shin, reaching the right arm back behind you, baby wild thing, decompressing into the right side body. On an inhale, bring both sit bones back to land on the earth. Exhale across the right shin in front of the left, or maybe find a half lotus on this side. Bring the back of your left hand to hook your right knee. Really nice, deliberate extension in that left wrist. Fingertips of the right hand travel to land lightly on the floor behind you. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, spin the heart to the right, but drop your chin and your eye gaze down toward the left shoulder. Keeping the breath moving slowly, the heart lifts brightly. And coming into a little bit of fascial flossing for the neck on the right-hand side. Keep this angle in the neck. And as you inhale, just turn the chin and the nose up toward the ceiling. Exhale, turn it back down. Move slowly and smoothly. Inhale, turning the chin up toward the ceiling. Exhale, bring the chin back down. One last inhale, turning the head up. Exhale, drop the chin down. Stay here. Inhale, lift the head, look forward. And as you exhale, we'll take the head and the neck now to join the rest of the spine as we arrive in a simple seated twist. Keep that extension in the left wrist. You might take an inhale to sit a little bit taller. You might exhale to twist a little bit deeper. Inhaling, release the head. Exhale, release the chest and shoulders. Let the hands come to land on the earth in front of you, arms absorbing the weight of the torso. Prepare with an inhale. And as you exhale, we'll creep the arms forward, coming down slowly and carefully so you have the opportunity to change your mind and back off if your body asks you to. You might drop down onto elbows and forearms. You might reach out really flat and bring your forehead and the nose down to rest on the earth. And now bringing attention into the sit bones, notice that they have inevitably lifted away from the earth. Can you just plug them back down? And perhaps allowing yourself to surrender a little bit more fully into this shape. On an inhale, walking those hands back in towards you slowly, letting the arms support the weight, protecting the knees. Good. When you're ready, we're coming back to just sit on the mat with the feet hip width apart and the knees bent as we bring some attention into the fascia of the arm lines and the chest. We've done this one before. It's one of my favorites. Line the back of the hands up with the buttocks for a moment, then lift up onto the tips of your middle fingers. Spiral the palms to face the back of the mat and then drop your weight down onto your hands. Push into the hands to straighten, but don't lock out the arms here. Keeping those little micro bends in the elbows create a feeling as though you are just hugging the elbows a bit closer to one another, like the collarbones feel wide, and drop the chin down low, looking at the space between the knees. It's good practice to keep the toe prints and the fingerprints plugging into the mat now and creating a feeling as though you are attempting to drag your fingertips and your sit bones towards one another. And this is what's going to really light up those fascial pathways across the chest and the arms. On an inhale, we'll lift up onto the tips of the middle fingers. Exhale, drop the back of the hands down, just pressing gently through the backs of the hands. If you wanted a little bit spicier now that we're warm, you could take the shoulders back behind the earlobes. Releasing the arms and giving the wrists a bit of a flick. And when you're ready, please roll down onto your back and onto the floor. Take your time to arrive. And as you do, hugging your knees in towards your chest. Most of us habitually tend to cross the forearms and reach across for the opposite wrist. Instead, can you just keep the hands separate, plugged onto the shin bones just beneath the kneecaps, and use your arms to hug the knees in, but without creating strain or tension across the chest or the neck. As you breathe here slowly, noticing the feedback that you get from the belly pressing against the thighs. We're going to stretch the left leg out long. Keep hugging the right knee in toward the chest. It's good to keep the left leg quite active here, toes pointing up toward the ceiling. If this is enough for you, stay here, keep breathing. We've got the right knee bent, which means that we are really stimulating into the ascending colon. So we're following the same natural path of digestion. If you're wanting to take this further now, we'll bring the left leg into half happy baby. So take the sole of the foot up toward the ceiling, and the right hand can either come to grab the ball of the foot and the toes and pull down like that, or if that creates strain in the shoulder, you can just interlace the fingers at the back of the leg. Now, I find it really useful to think about the kneecap coming to nestle into the armpit. It might be nowhere near the armpit, but it's still a useful landmark to focus on in this shape. Good, and when you're ready, taking that right leg out long and slowly delivering the heel to the earth with control. And now hugging your left knee in toward your chest, fingers interlace across the shin bone, keeping the right leg quite active, toes of the right foot pointing straight up to the ceiling. And just be here for a few breaths, noticing the movement of the belly as you breathe. Any sensations in the lower left quadrant of your abdomen as we this time stimulate into the descending colon. If you're taking this somewhere different, you can start to bring that left leg into half happy baby pose again. Think about angling the knee toward the armpit. The fingers can interlace at the back of the thigh if that works better for your proportions. Or you can take the left hand up to gently cup the ball of the foot and the toes and pull the foot down towards you. Smooth breaths here. Good, straightening that left leg out. And on an exhale with control, lower that left leg to the earth. Really inhabit the full length of the leg as the heel travels down to find the floor. Good. As that foot arrives, we'll come into Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees dropping out to the sides. Now, if in this shape you experience any pulling or gripping in the groins, any compression in the hips, or any discomfort in your knees, you can place a block underneath the legs just to support and cradle the legs against gravity. Otherwise, if the legs are free, gravity is embracing those heavy bones and just passively opening into the hips. We'll bring the hands to land on the belly and slow down the breath. feeling the belly rise and fall. Slowing the breath right down. Allow yourself to settle here. Stay connected to the feeling of your hands against your lower belly, the rise and fall of the belly as you breathe. Good. Now, when you're ready, please take a little bit of a stretch on the earth, curl yourself back to an upright seat. To finish this evening, we're going to be working with one of my favorite propped versions of Shavasana. And this is a really lovely method of opening through the diaphragm and the rib cage. If you don't have a bolster, you can grab a couch cushion, a couple of rolled up blankets, or you can just skip this and lie in a Shavasana. But if you are working with the bolster, it's really yummy, but it's a little bit of a setup. So start with the bolster horizontal across the midline of the mat and your sacrum nestled up, right up against the bolster. Because as we lay back, the idea is to bring the back of the shoulders and the shoulder blades to land on the mat. So you'll need to lift your pelvis up away from the floor. A good landmark is to think about your bra strap and that space just right underneath the shoulder blades. We want that to have landed free of the bolster. Once you arrive here, turn the palms of the hands to face the ceiling and relax the arms. Now, if your proportions demand some more support, if your head is not resting on the floor and there's strain in your neck, pop a block or a pillow or a rolled up jumper underneath your head to bring the floor closer to you. And if it's your lower back that feels a little bit limited in this shape, you can pop another block or prop underneath the pelvis. As regards the legs, you can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop out to the side. So we're back in that Supta Baddha Konasana position. Or you can take the legs out long. If you've reached the legs out long, please just let your toes fall away from your heels. And as we take these final moments to digest and assimilate our practice, the focus comes back to the breath. This evening, the invitation is to work with a pattern of breath where you inhale for 4 counts, retain the breath for 5 counts, and then exhale for 6 counts. 4, 5, 6. In for 4, hold for 5, and out for 6. Keep your mind anchored in the count and allow your physical body to soften, to melt. There's nothing else to do. Inhaling for 4, holding for 5, and exhaling for 6. Give yourself permission to surrender to this pattern and stay with this until the sound of my voice summons you back. Allow your breath to deepen slightly now. And begin to gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently swallow to lubricate your throat. If you have a block underneath your pelvis, please bend the knees, bring the feet onto the mat, press down through the feet and legs to elevate the pelvis and slide the block out from underneath you. Carefully rolling onto your right hand side, your left if you have low blood pressure, and curling your way really carefully to an upright seat. As you arrive in your upright seat, remaining for just a few more moments with your eyes closed, your attention directed inwards, and take a moment to rest in the resonance of your practice. Listening to the sounds around you. Noticing how you have arrived here at the end of your practice. And when you're ready, float the palms to meet one another in front of your heart. If it's your preference, just land one hand on your chest and the other against your belly. And so we take a moment to punctuate the end of our practice with gratitude and acknowledgement, as we offer our thanks for the gift of this day, our lives and our health, and as we extend our respects and acknowledgements to one another and to the custodians of this living tradition. And as always, friends, my deep respect, affection, and gratitude to you all. Thank you so much for your company this month, this year. Have a restful night. If you've got any questions or feedback, feel free to let me know. Thank you so much.